One rule that I aim to ingrain into my brain is to say no. You should say no to things that aren't important to you, which sounds like great advice, and it actually is great advice. I just think it sounds silly coming from someone like me. Because, well, if you know me, which you probably don't, I like trying all kinds of crazy things and jumping into stuff, which is exactly why I especially seriously need to keep that rule in mind, which unfortunately ended up happening. I had to quit something that I always dreamed of, and ended up learning something I never expected. Around a while ago, I saw an ad advertising that a team needed a character artist for a game, and as a person who really wants to make games, I jumped at the opportunity and landed the role, and for a while, it was good. I really enjoyed sketching concept art of the characters, figuring out exactly what hairstyle and eye shape would suit their personality, and so on. And then it was time to work on the finished sprites, and I started struggling. I've always thought of my own art skills as being good enough for what I wanted to do, but for this project, I just didn't feel good enough. It sounds funny coming from an art storytime YouTuber, but it's true, I'm not really that confident in my skills, which led to me being insecure about what I was making and not being proud of it. One solution you might suggest is to just get good, and I would usually love to do that, but I just don't have that much time, and so I'm prioritizing other things, but I will do it later. Which also leads into my next point. Making finalized sprite art is very time consuming. I love art, but doing line art can be very draining for me. When I usually draw, I just do the sketch and clean it up, but for these types of character sprites, you really want them to be clean and polished, and it's just a tedious process. And I started to feel like this wasn't worth the time that I was investing in it. And it made sense, obviously. This wasn't my project, but I seriously yearned to work on my own stuff. Without much time this past semester because of school, my YouTube channel and other ambitions fell to the wayside. And now I started seeing that it doesn't really make sense to invest so much of my time and energy into something I didn't really care about that much. Sorry. And, I was volunteering for it. I also didn't really have that much of a creative say, I guess, since it had to be done in a particular art style, and, there's also that pressure that, hey, they could just drop me whenever they wanted to, because, I was a volunteer, so I was really hesitant to push back on decisions or anything, because I didn't want to just be dropped from the project, so it wasn't very collaborative. And I think all that combined makes, when I started doing all the routine stuff that's more about execution and less spitballing ideas and designs, that it became more, I guess, boring for me, which made me be like, wait a minute, I really care way more about storytelling in general more than just drawing, and it kind of gave me a small identity crisis. For my whole life, I've been the art kid. The one who did all the drawings for the group projects and filled up sketchbooks during class, but I guess I just want to tell stories through art and other mediums. I don't want to just draw to draw right now. Maybe in the future that'll change, but I don't know. And so all of this combined really started to weigh on me, and I started to wish that the project was done already. I want to move on. Maybe it'd be nice if there was other artists who could help finish it faster. I just saw that the road ahead of me was long, and I really didn't want to do it, but I thought, hey, I committed, so I have to do it. And as soon as I started thinking like this, I knew I had to quit. There's just no way I was gonna be able to force myself to do this work if I was just dreading it and thinking like this the whole time. And usually, I would feel really guilty and horrible about making a decision like that. I believe that if you're gonna make a commitment to do something, you should at least give it an honest shot. But I also believe that some commitments aren't worth it. I'm allowed to quit and say no to something if it's not right for me right now, even if in the past I did enjoy it. And hey, maybe I could have enjoyed it in many other circumstances, but I just didn't hear. So I ended up calling the director and basically explained all of this. It kind of felt like a breakup, even though it wasn't, which is kind of funny. And honestly, there's no hard feelings on my end. I honestly wish the best for his project. So, I just want to say to you that it's okay to say no to opportunities or quit things when they just don't make sense for you. You should do what's best for you, even if you end up maybe disappointing someone else. Because who else is going to look out for and care about you the most? It's you. This whole situation reminds me of a comic called Yumi Cells. It's a comic where this girl has her emotions or whatever personified, and it's basically like Inside Out in her brain. And in there's a chart ranking all her priorities. You've got to be number one on yours. You have to be. It's your life. You can't be living it for someone or something else. And if you are, I guess, it has to be a choice you made and want to keep making. Just keep that in mind, okay? If you enjoyed that, I'd genuinely appreciate it if you watch an old story time about how I tried trumpet for the first time and my experience. Did I like it? Did I hate it? Well, you can find out yourself and give me more watch time. Have a good life! Bye-bye.